Hi Colleen, John here from dropdeadcopy.com, just with your landing page review. Now, I think this is a great site. I think you've done well selling soy candles. I've never seen them before. I think my mum would be into this type of thing though. Anyhow, let's get into it. So, the first thing that kind of jumps to my eye is this font you're using is very hard to read. I'm not sure if that's a super big thing. It's not a huge big win, but it's just hard to read. You might kind of have to squint to read that. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. Number one, there is no headline. Okay, there's nothing that sums up what this website is about. Now, obviously, it's Soylights, but what you want to think about is when you say "made by nature, crafted by hand," that's talking about your products. You got to think like, what does your market want? What do your prospects want? That's what I really want you to take away from this. Is that in the end, it's not about different tactics that I can give you. It's really about understanding what your market wants, and then using the website to communicate that with them. Now, so this is, I suppose, a little bit of a headline, but it's not really. I mean, it's kind of hard to read, and it doesn't jump out of a page. So one of the first changes I would make is I would add a big fat headline right up here. I would replace this banner with text. Now, the thing with text is it might not look as good as a flashing image like you have here or the nice colors, but in the end, we as people, we're sold by communication, not flashy graphics. So there's an old saying that goes, the more you tell, the more you sell. So if you're not telling them about what's great about the product or what they really want to hear about it, then you're really missing out on something. Okay, so the first thing I would do is put a big headline here, and I would say something that has to do with what the prospect wants, which is going to be so in this case, it's going to be something like soy candles sent to your door in 48 hours. Or something like that, right? So the average visitor to your website is obviously looking for a soy candles. Now, what do they really want out of it? They want a soy candle, which is fairly straightforward. They probably want it delivered, and they want it delivered quickly. And maybe they want it to be high quality. I'm not sure. Maybe all soy candles are the same quality, in which case quality isn't a USP. Okay, so you really want to feature the things in the headline that are really going to resonate with your market. So obviously you're going to say soy candles, then you're going to say, ship to your door anywhere in the world in the next 48 hours, or whatever the offer is. Okay. Now, going further, I haven't seen any testimonials anywhere. There might be somewhere if I dig into the site, but you don't want to make people look for this type of thing. You want to put it like in their face. So you want to, at the very least, have a couple of testimonials on the homepage. You also want to have some in the sidebar as well. Now, just before you go further, I'm going to attach this these notes to the email, so you don't have to take notes so much. You can just look in here. So like I said, testimonials, feature them everywhere. Beside, on the homepage, you want to put them on these pages, and obviously on a page like this. Right? So we're going to get to, I've taken a look at the other pages and we'll go through them in a minute. Now, same thing for social proof. If you have anyone famous that's bought these candles, great. If you have anyone famous that said something related to candles, such as a famous writer who said something about writing by candles is nice, or a famous massage therapist who said that candles are fantastic for relaxing you, you wanted to try and get things like that. Now, one thing I've noticed is it's fairly me focused. The copy as a whole on the site. Like right here, for example, let's see. So on this page, you go straight talking about, the first word is our. The first word is talking about you. Right? What you really want to do is talk about them. Talk about what they want. Which, in this case, it might be say, our soy candle jars are highly fragrant and come in an hourglass jar with lid that will complement any decor. So you're going to be better off in this situation asking a question. Like, do you love soy candles? Do you love the incredible ambience that they provide to a room? Would you like to, things like that, right? So, and then when you're saying like, do you love to read by candlelight? Would you like to, spruce up the atmosphere with a nice soy candle jar? We have the best soy candle jars, and they complement any decor. They're going to make your room look fantastic. They're going to be perfect for any dinner occasion, and they're great for reading a book with, or something like that, right? Then you start saying, well, we have a variety of seasonal scents, so you can have spring or summer, depending on what your fancy is. And they burns clean, so there's virtually no wax left in the jar, so you can use these jars for other things afterwards. It might be a vase for flowers, something like that, right? So you got to tell them the benefits. You really got to describe it in ways that they're going to understand. Okay, and yeah, I would probably even make some of these bullet points. These are just some examples to get you going. This might not be super relevant, but this will give you an idea of how I think about copy and marketing. And yeah, like I said, the main thing I want you to understand is it's not really about you. It's about your prospects, your customers, and how you can solve their problems. Okay, so let's go back over here. I think on the homepage there's way too, like, it's just all photos. Like I said before, the more you tell, the more you sell. So in this case, there's just stuff to click on. So I mean, some people would land on this site and they'd probably dig deeper, but a lot of people might not. They might land on here and they might not see what they're looking for because all they have is a couple of pictures to go by. Maybe they want a certain type of soy candle, but it's not shown in the pictures, so they assume that you don't have it. Okay, so what we really want to do is, what I would do first is, I think you should add way more text to the homepage. This is going to be good for search engine optimization as well. I've heard different people say you need at least 500. Some say up to 2,000 words on the homepage. Now, once again, this comes back to the more you tell, the more you sell. So I would put a headline at the top. I would replace this banner, or maybe just move the banner down, and I would say something. I talk about the candle. I talk about what problem you're solving. So it's kind of like, like I said before, gorgeous, delightful soy candles delivered to your door, for $10. These are your flat rates here. So for $10 in the next 48 hours, or get soy candles sent to your door in the next 48 hours, or something like that. Depends on what they want. You really got to think about what your prospects want, and if you don't know what they want, send your previous customers an email and ask them what do they want. And offer to get on the phone with them on Skype and talk to them about candles and ask them how you could create some stuff that really resonates with them. Find out what they're really trying to get out of it. And then the rest of the page, as far as what I think you can spin a story. You could talk about how candles are, reading by candlelight is more natural, and it harkens back to the old days when people would study into the wee hours of the morning with the candles going. You could talk about how looking at computer screens keeps you awake, and that sleep is one of the most important things to human health, more important even than diet and exercise and things like smoking and alcohol. I read this in a book recently. You can talk about how looking at computer screens and bright lights, that sort of thing, really jars the eyes and is interrupting people's sleep, causing insomnia, which leads to sickness and all sorts of problems. And so with your great candles, they're going to be able to they're going to be able to rely less on artificial lighting and more on natural light, which is going to be much better for their health, right? And they're biodegradable. So that means that, like you said here, you want to explain that a bit. So not just biodegradable, talk about the benefits, what that means. And what that means for your prospects is that they can buy these candles without feeling guilty about the environmental problems because they're biodegradable, right? So let's see, cotton core wicks. I mean, you could turn that into a benefit. So that's a fact. The benefit is probably, we only use the best wicks. These cotton candle wicks, they burn for longer and they burn brighter and they burn slower. Right? So it means you get a longer lasting candle, so you get more bang for your buck. So 100% pure soybean wax. You want to tell them, what does that mean? I obviously know you got soybean wax, but how does that translate into something that's going to help them? You want to start telling them about how this, the soybean wax is, marvelous, healthy, aroma. What's the word? It's very, it's very aromatic. Right? It's a very beautiful smell. And very healthy. Most standard candles, you could even start to get some fear in there by saying most standard candles, that you buy from most stores are made with artificial wax, which is bad for the lungs and bad for the nose, and it can actually be toxic, right? So if you use these candles at a dinner table or while you're reading a book, you could be poisoning yourself while you sleep, or while you're sitting there. But with these ones, with this 100% natural, I'm waiting for it to show up again, 100% natural, wax. It's they're not toxic, so it's really good. Environmentally safe. You can talk about that as well. 100% pure soybean wax. These are just some ideas, Colleen, to get you thinking and really get you thinking from the perspective of the marketplace and what do they want. These are some ideas that I would use for copy on the homepage, just because you want to fill it out. So if someone comes there, there's no reason for them to stay on the site really, unless they click further in. There's nothing to read. Whereas if you had some great engaging copy about the benefits of the soy candles with all the things, made by nature, biodegradable, environmentally safe, all the things I've just mentioned, it's going to be even fun and interesting to read about. I'd be interested in finding out why I should use soy candles versus whatever other candles there are, and how to use them, and non-toxic, soot-free, right? Soot-free doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it's a nice fact, but how does that translate? Doesn't that mean that there's not going to be any soot on my ceiling, or on the table that I put the candle on? And you want to spell this out. This is really the science of copywriting. It's getting people to really visualize the problems that your product solves. And it's really, really easy. Just when you take it, it's kind of like 100% pure soybean wax. Then ask yourself, so what? Right? And then do it again. You'll answer it. You say, well, it's natural. And you say, so what? And well, that means that it's non-toxic. So what? Well, it means you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about toxins getting into your bloodstream and causing cancer and all those kind of problems. And that's a benefit. Okay, flat rate shipping. You could even talk about that. You can explain. I guess it. Okay, so it looks like you're doing Canada and the US. Flat rate shipping. So you could say, I would, instead of just saying flat rate shipping, I would say, from $10 anywhere in Canada. I mean, it depends. Who you can probably find this out on Google Analytics of who are your main customers. And I would put the headline something like, we ship, anywhere in Canada or the US for a maximum of $15 or something like that. So, like I said at the start, Colin, the main thing I want you to take away is that you got to make this more focused on the prospect and in these kind of ways. And like I said, the more you tell, the more you sell. So, what's the goal of the website? That's what you really want to think about. If it's to sell these soy things, it's kind of like, which ones are you trying to sell? How much money are you trying to make? How much product do you need to move to hit your income goals? What I would do is I would find whatever the most popular products on the website, because you want to 80-20 it, right, Colleen? There is you might have, I don't know how many products you have on it, probably hundreds, I'm guessing. Now, you don't want to try and direct people to those. I would probably pick the most popular, because this is like 80% of your revenue probably comes from 20% or less of the type of products you have. So what you want to do is focus on the 20% that people are buying, and you want to feature that everywhere. So you'd have featured products up here somewhere. On the homepage, instead of saying jars, votives, tea lights, you might still have those sections, but you might say featured product from that section, and that's going to be the most popular product in that area. So what you're doing is you're directing your traffic to the products that they're most likely to buy. And I think just that one strategy could increase your revenue quite a bit, especially if you apply it on the homepage where most people start their search on the website. So what that means is how this page is going to change is it's going to have a lot more copy, which is going to go into the benefits of your candles. Not everyone's going to read it, but some people will. And you want to also add some banners or some photos or even just some textings where you describe, here are the featured products or the most popular products. You don't even have to say the most popular. You can just say featured. Or maybe it might help to say popular. You could say, here's what everyone's looking at today. The way Amazon does it is, people who bought this also bought. You could say people who, most popular candles is this. And obviously that candle is going to be the most popular. So you got to make sure you get this down. Google Analytics will show this to you. Whichever one you're selling the most of, sell more of that. Now, moving over to this other, we've already talked a little bit about this page. Now, so it's like I said, it's very me focused, talking about you. So we start the sentence off with ow. You're better off starting the sentence with something like do you, like a question, or talking about them rather than you, or talking about their problems instead of your candles. Because your candles are not that important, right? The customer isn't worried about your candles. They're worried about solving their problems. The only reason they're buying your candles is because they think your candle will solve their problems. So you want to talk about their problems and hint at at a solution. This is kind of hard to do with candles, but because candles are a bit of a commodity kind of type of product. But I think you understand what I mean. If you have any questions, you can send me an email. No headline. Like once again, I think a headline is one of the most important parts of any page. So this is kind of it. I mean, basically a headline is if someone was to land on the page and they would have 3 seconds to read something, what's the first thing they'd read? And on here, I don't know, right? They could be looking at anything. Whereas if you put a big fat headline right here, it'll be the first thing that 80% of people see, and that means you control the name of, you control the game, right? the ball's in your park, because you get to control what you say to them in that headline and draw their attention to certain facts. Same on this page. They could be looking anywhere, but if you put a headline here, you can draw their attention to the fact that they're available in seasonal scents, virtually no wax left in the jar, and you also refill empty jars. You might want to link that up where it says contact us as well. One thing is, there's no pictures here. This will look a lot better, I think, if you put pictures like thumbnails. Once again, testimonials and social proof. There are no testimonials on this page. I think it'd be great if you could have some. Same here, same over here. So I don't know if the image is not displaying correctly, because there really should be an image here. A really good looking image will be ideal. I think this seems to be saying the same thing on every page as well. Take a look. Now, I don't have time to go through the whole site right now, but if you're using the same descriptions on every page, Google's not going to be happy with that. Google likes unique descriptions, so that's an SEO tip for you. If you add unique descriptions to every product, you'll probably increase your search engine traffic quite a lot. You also want to optimize these titles for stuff that people are searching for. So you want to go over to the Google keyword tool and start finding out what people are searching for, soy-wise. So that's duplicate product descriptions. You want unique ones if possible, and the photo, like I said, and the testimonial, those kind of things. Okay, Colleen, so that's about time, I think. Yeah, there we are, 16 minutes. I've gone a little bit over. Now, like I said, the main things I want you to take away is it's not about the candles, it's about the problems that your candles solve. So I want you to focus the website on the candles that that you solve, okay? In the ways that I've suggested. So that's it for the landing page review, Colleen. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, send me an email at john@dropdeadcopy.com. Talk to you soon.